everyone. So last month I purchased the Clé de Peau Beauté, or Beauté. I want to call it Booty. Okay, whatever. I purchased, cracking myself up. We're 30 seconds into this video. I purchased the Clé de Peau Radiant Cream Foundation, Broad Spectrum SPF 20 Sunscreen Foundation last month, and in a Nordstrom haul video. And I told you that I would come back in November and do a whole follow-up. And I figured because this sucker was $128, this definitely falls into the Taking One for the Team video series. I think it's helpful to read to you the description straight from the Clé de Peau website to tell you a little bit more about this. This is a cream foundation. It's in a squeezy tube. It does retail for $128 at a variety of locations: Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, probably a few other places. I can list them below. It is not one full fluid ounce like most traditional foundations are. It is in fact 0.7 ounces or 21 milliliters. So it is really expensive. And let me tell you a little bit more about it. It comes in 12 shades, all in the, I would say, fair to medium range. I do not see any deep shades. I personally wear the shade I-10. It is described as a luxurious, moisturizing, full coverage, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, cream foundation that transforms skin into a natural, dewy, lustrous complexion. Some key benefits. There is the Illuminating Complex EX. That is a proprietary term. It means absolutely nothing to me. With precious silk and pearl elements to help moisturize and retexturize skin while reducing the appearance of damage caused by environmental stress. It has silky reflection oil, which develops a lustrous layer that spreads evenly across skin's surface for captivating luster. Microwater gel emulsification, Marjarom Extract, and Hyaluronic Acid help maintain skin's moisture all day and reveal dramatic radiance with continued use. Responds to changes in skin tone, so it's chameleon-like. Due to oil production throughout the day, and maintains a perfect foundation finish with day-matching powder, honeycombing prevention oil, and oil-absorbing powder. It's magic. Let me show you what it looks like, because this is definitely a cream and not a liquid. So let me squeeze a little bit of this liquid cream gold out for you. So as you can see, it's like toothpaste. Not quite as thick as toothpaste, but it's not gonna run. It's very, very thick. So it's hard to keep the sarcasm at bay. Am I gonna hold this to a higher standard than a $5 or $15 foundation? You bet. I am. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's $128. There is literally a lot more involved and invested in this than a $5, $10, or $15 foundation. There just is. And this has a lot of claims. I mean, that it basically magically transforms to adjust to your skin tone based on, that's okay. So other than all these insane claims, how do I really feel? So I honestly don't have a problem spending $120, $130 on a foundation if it is a beautiful foundation and it does what it's supposed to do and then some. One of my all-time favorite foundations is a little bit less expensive at $120, but it's the La Mer foundation, which is much more liquidy than this. I'll show you what it looks like in a second, but it wears beautifully. It wears even more beautifully throughout the day. My skin looks incredible always. Before I go into how I really feel, let's cut into some of the footage of how I applied it and how on a different day how it wore throughout the day. I'm going to apply it according to the instructions, which say to squeeze out a small amount and apply it to 5 points on the face: forehead, cheeks, nose, and chin. So I'm going to look in my mirror, forehead, nose, and do a little more on the cheeks and chin. And I can tell you right now that is not nearly enough, but we will do that. It does also say for best application to use a brush. I have tried it with 2 brushes, more of a traditional kabuki style and the BK Beauty 101 face brush. I like this one better. It is more of a hybrid of a beauty blender, which I am also going to do on the other side just to show you. So using the way they recommend, we're going to smooth this out. And as you can see, I'm going to use the computer as my friend here. It's just not nearly enough. It doesn't cover my whole face. I don't really have a particularly large head. And it doesn't cover the redness or anything like that. So I'm going to pull what's on my chin over. And I'm going to pull what's on my forehead. Now I don't need a lot of coverage on my forehead. And I really don't need a lot of coverage on my nose. I don't really love their directions. And then I am going to ignore their directions. I'm going to make sure this is good and squeezed. I don't want it too damp. And I'm going to use this beauty blender on this side. As you can see, it really shears it out, which is nice with heavier coverage foundations. And remember, this is listed as a full coverage. Full coverage at $128 for a 0.7 ounce. You know where I'm going with this. So there it is applied according to their directions. It is a very pretty finish, definitely not full coverage. So I'm gonna use what's left on my hand, which isn't a ton, but at this price, I'm not gonna leave any. I'm gonna add a little bit more to the areas that I would like more coverage. And I'm gonna go back with my brush. And I'm gonna pat. I have found that the best way to apply this is to kind of pat and smooth. And there you go. It is moderately buildable, I will tell you that. Now, if you add a little bit too much and try to go full coverage from the get-go, it does get cakey. It's gonna even out skin tone once I build it up a little bit, but I'm still gonna need concealer. There's still some uneven skin tone showing through. You would expect with rather thin, but 3 layers of what is described as a full coverage foundation that you would have quite a cakey, very full coverage effect, no pigmentation, no freckles, no skin tone showing through, or I should say no variations in skin tone. That is not the case. I can see all my freckles. I don't know why my ears are turning red. I'll just do that. So there you have it. There is full application worth $128. I put it on at 9. It is 1 o'clock right now. So it's been on for 4 hours. And that is my check-in. So my first few impressions were, didn't love it so much. I have some errands to run, a blog post, and some social media copy to write. And then I have a care package party to go to tonight where a bunch of us get like 25 moms are getting together and we all are bringing 25 of the same item. I'm bringing fuzzy socks and we're assembling care packages for all of our kids. And anyway, so when I get home from that, we'll do another check-in. So far, so good. It is 9:15, so I've had this on about 12 hours. And other than a little concealer here that I've rubbed off because I picked at it, and a little concealer here, I've had no powder, no concealer, no nothing. Now, my skin is really dry because the retin-A has totally kicked in. I'm going through that dry phase. But other than that, the actual finish of this foundation is really good. And I didn't think I was gonna, initially, the way I've been wearing it, it's kind of on the fence. I'm back. So as you can see, I mean, it can be, and like right now, this is freshly applied, and I'm looking at myself in the monitor. I think it looks really pretty on camera right now. I have no complaints about how it looks right now, and it applied really well for me when I followed the directions exactly to a T. However, this is billed as full coverage, and it is not. It's also very finicky. Some days it works well with whatever sunscreen or moisturizer I pair it with, and some days it does not. It can pill or ball up if I switch out a moisturizer or sunscreen. Some may play well with and some it does not. If I try to build it up a little too much, it gets cakey really quickly. When I try to apply my Charlotte Tilbury contour or the liquid contour, sometimes that gets patchy. It doesn't always, it's a finicky foundation. And at $128, I should be able to just slap it on and go. I don't necessarily want a mask-like appearance, but then don't list this as full coverage. List this as medium coverage. Now, as far as is it good for all skin types? I always forget to do this at the beginning of a foundation review. I have aging, well, we all have aging skin. We're all getting older, but I am above the age of 40, much closer to 50. I'm 46. I'll be 47 at the end of March. I have dry skin. I am currently at the beginning of using Retin A, so I have drier skin than usual. So this does cling to dry patches, even though this is recommended for drier skin. It doesn't get oily, so I would say if you have combo to oily skin and you want to spend this much money and you like all the other things that are at fault with this, then you might actually like this foundation. I just feel like for the price point and considering all the other options that are out there, there are better options for you than this. And it has great reviews online, and I'm happy that whoever is using this thinks it is wonderful. I just think that for $128, I would go with the La Mer Fluid Foundation. I would go with something half the price, a third of the price. As always, I get very wrapped up in these. I get a little too emotionally involved. I tend to babble and not just get straight to the point. But final thought, cannot recommend this. I do think it's pretty for a little while. Obviously, I'm wearing it right now. I bought it. I use it. I will continue to wear it. But if you're sitting at home thinking, is it worth me going out and spending $128 plus tax? No, it is not. I will list my current 5 favorites in the description box. I'd love to hear from you. Do you have this? Have you tried it? Do you like it? And if you like the high end, really expensive foundations, let's just say $60 and up, what do you recommend? What else is out there that you think it's on the high end, the luxury brand? Give those recommendations. I'd love to hear from you. As always, I love hearing from you. Keep those comments coming. Keep the suggestions coming for future taking one for the team options. I know I keep going towards the foundations. Those are just the big ticket items. Foundations are always the most expensive, but put it out there. Let me know what other products you would like for me to try, and I will do my best to give them a go. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to spend some of it with me. Make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.